Welcome back to Factorio 0.17, and we're going to continue today by moving it on to something for sulfur, I think, and moving on to batteries, because we're going to need batteries, and probably, if I haven't already done them, electric engines will be useful at some point, so we will have to think about those. While I actually think about setting that up, however, some big news: if you're watching this video on March 8th, if you signed up for the Satisfactory Beta, or Alpha, whatever they want to actually call it these days, the open alpha, I should say, then it is actually available right now. You should have got an email in your inbox if you signed up for the alpha, and in there you will find a key, presumably by now, because I can't tell. It's a day behind, or I'm a day behind, and enjoy. However, the early access, if you didn't sign up, is available on the 19th of March, I think, and it's on the Epic Store. Oh, so sad, but anyway, it is available. It's a shame it's not on Steam, but that's just my own personal opinion. Epic clearly made them, gave them a lot of money to do so. Okay, so we have an episode to get started in, and oh, I will be doing videos on it, depending on how good it is. I will try it and let you guys know. So, sulfur, that is. We need to get a few things going for sulfur. One thing is we need some water, so I'm going to need an offshore pump or two, and we're going to find a new water source. If you have a look at the map, I don't think there is any water not nearby. No. I'm sort of equidistant between all of them. The closest one's here, so we may as well get a water pipeline going across to the left and then up the main center here, where we may well need it for other processes. So I'm going to start that off. I think I'm going to need to go and get some pipe, so I'll go and get that grab from Automatic Factory or Automatic Assembly Machine somewhere, and join me shortly for this sulfur build. Alright, my water pipeline's in. It's coming all the way from the bottom down there and across over at the lake. See that dotted line coming in? And it's coming over here to where we need it. In fact, do I have anywhere else I need water? I don't think so yet, but we'll actually get to that soon. So in comes our water. And right here we have available this buffer tank of petroleum gas. Now remember, right now this is still running on the first recipe. We don't have the second one yet. So yep, it's still running on the first recipe. So we'll use this, as we can. And we've got plenty at the moment. So we need a few chemical plants. Now, you don't really need a lot of sulfur, if I remember rightly. So we'll work the ratios once I've got this down. So I'm just going to start off by seeing where the inputs are for this. So sulfur, we have, okay, petroleum on the right-hand side. Water on the left-hand side. So since we don't need a lot of this, let's just arrange that accordingly. So 1, 2, and let's say 3. That seems reasonable to start off with. And that will get them all powered. We'll select sulfur. And then we can run in a pipe. In fact, let's just go underground from 1 away. There we go. And then we'll be able to go like this. Do we want to go like this? We actually need one more space, I think. Yeah, we need one more space. Unless we just go and do the other one. Yeah, okay, let's do it the other way. Easier. Just put 2 in here. Like that. And then we'll connect all those up. And we'll connect them up like this. So that we don't get any interference, although we shouldn't be able to pollute the pipes because of the update. But in the meantime, we can then connect all of these together, like this, with these. There we go. So that should have the petroleum connected up. It is, and then we should be able to bring our water out of this kind of way. And let's get it running like that. Need a few more of those. Okay, so that's everything that these need, and they're already producing sulfur. Quite fast. It's not a slow process. And then we just need to put them onto a belt. So this needs to be a little bit different, I guess. Let's see if we can get them like this and then like this. And let's see if that actually keeps everything equal. We can have this sort of approach. Okay, and we'll see if that, in fact, yeah, that is not going to, these inserters are not going to keep up with this little chemical plant. They're going to need fast inserters, but we may not need that many sulfur, as I actually said. So we have sulfur available. And what do we use sulfur for? Well, for acid. Specifically, sulfuric acid, as you might imagine. It needs sulfur, it needs water, both quite handy to us now, and it needs iron plate. Well, we're on the right side of the, on the left side of the main bus, but we're in the right place for it because we can just pull iron away from there. We've got water right here, so we have some sort of way of dealing with that. So what do the rough quantities look like? 5 sulfur, 100 water. The water is sort of irrelevant, so we just need to make sure we have iron and sulfur, which should be straightforward for us to grab. Let's look at some way of connecting these. Which machine is that actually in? This is a chemical plant, is it? Yep. So the chemical plant, we can just look at where the recipe is for that one, and we'll choose sulfuric acid. So the outputs, yeah, inputs and outputs are quite normal, which means we don't really much mind where we actually put this. I think we want to put it along this line here, just so that we've got everything nice and neat. So if we put them like here, and again, we'll work out the ratios later, but we're leaving plenty of room, always leave the room, so that you can actually redo this later. We're just going to connect these up. And I'm going to need a little bit more. I need some more steel, I think, for medium electric poles. They're being made, or actually it's iron. I'm short of iron. There we go. All right. Then we can select the sulfuric acid for these. And figure out that we want probably to bring in the... Have I left this one too far away or not? Yeah, sort of, but it'll do fine because we just use long-handed to deal with it. All right. We'll go into ground there. And I may even want one further away for a long-handed, but that's we can still move it, I think. Let's just get a couple of those made. Or rather 10. Yep, and we can just grab them from there. And then we just need to feed in water somehow, and it doesn't much matter how. We can just replace this entire section with the cheapest option, which is just to run pipe like this. And they should be dealt with, apart from the iron, of course. So we're going to need to feed in iron. And I've sort of painted myself into a corner here. Well, not really. We just have to basically do the same thing on the other side. We're going to bring in iron this way. And we're going to do the same thing with the long-handed. In fact, we want to go one further away, don't we? Yeah, so let's just grab those. And there we go. So they'll grab the iron if we bring it in. So let's head this way. And grab a couple of, well, one splitter will do the job. And in comes some iron. So the iron is going to come in, and then the sulfuric acid is going to come out, and then we've got to decide what to do with that. So let's just figure this out. I'm going to need to just do a little bit of slightly different connection, like that will do. And then if we want to connect more that way, that will do fine. And then we will just connect this up with pipe of the underground kind. And now we can feed, you know, sulfuric acid either way. And we're done. So we've got sulfuric acid. And from that, we're going to want to make batteries. Batteries are used. They need sulfuric acid. They're made in chemical plants again. It needs iron and copper to do so. So we have iron and copper relatively easily. And more importantly, we have sulfuric acid right here. Again, relatively easily. So if I just decide I'm going to come out this way to wherever, doesn't mean much matter at the moment, then I can think about just bringing copper across here as well and using the same line for the batteries. Okay, so What we've got to do for that one then is to bring in something that way, and we'll figure out the rest. And then we're going to do the same thing up here, just to move this out, to give ourselves a little bit of room. Use that other splitter to go underneath. And I need to craft and go and get more belt, but you get the idea. We're going to go underneath there. Whoops, let's just go back one. And we will feed the copper this way. Alright, so iron, copper, we'll be able to grab both of those, and then sulfuric acid, and that will go into yet another chemical plant. So I'm going to need another one of those. Where are the chemical plants? I'm short of pipe, which means I'm short of iron. So I'm going to go and grab more, and then we'll finish off the build for the batteries. And with that done, I then just decided to combine our offshoots of iron and copper just onto a single line, because it just makes it easy to insert, and we shouldn't need that much input for this, because if we look at batteries, it's going to take 4 seconds, and it's going to take one of each of them for every 4 seconds. That's not a lot compared to what these can actually deliver. Remember, these can deliver 15 items per second, so we don't have much of an issue there. And it just makes it easier to insert things, because having one belt of iron, one belt of copper, and then an input belt from these, well, it's doable, because you can place in things a little bit like this if you wanted to, and you can just feed in the sulfuric acid that way, and then have, you know, inserters the other way, but then you have to feed out, and it's a little bit different. I'm just going to go for something quite simple here, just so that we have something nice and available. So we're just going to place down a few of these for now, and we'll get onto the ratios next, which may mean I have to pick some of this back up, but it just means it's kind of nice and relaxing while I'm actually doing this. So we're going to get each of those. I do actually want to go just here. I think I do, yeah. Just makes it easier to link the pipe up. And for the pipe, we're just going to go this way. And then there to there. Simple that we can just run the pipe this way. There we go. And we're going to need some power, of course, but that won't take much to actually feed in all of these. And then we need the recipe itself, which is batteries. Connect the power up. And we're pretty much done. They're going to start up just fine. And off they go. So now we can have a belt of batteries running this way. And because I'm not sure exactly how we're going to need yet, I'm just going to create the usual thing, which is just a temporary hold, just to create a couple of boxes. And feed everything back onto the same belt. Okay. There it goes. And I'll make sure I feed enough power for these. Shame I don't have, well, I do just, do I want to actually do that? Yeah, I think I do. There we go. So all those are powered up, and we just need to drop stuff onto the line now. And they'll be pulled into boxes and then replaced onto the main line on both sides. Fine. So now we've got batteries going. We need to move on to the next thing. And the next thing we need is also from sulfuric acid. So we can go into here. You can see we're researching it right now. Blue circuits. So we need 5 sulfuric acid, 2 advanced circuits, and 20 electronic circuits. And this is where you're about to deplete your electronic circuits and need to scale up the input, which will then deplete your copper, and around we go in circles. However, even though we are about to go around in circles, I am going to just start this off. What we're going to be doing is moving this belt, which has got lots and lots of red circuits on it right now, and it's going to be going out right instead, because there's going to be lots of red circuit factories, and then we're going to have blue circuit factories with some kind of splitter down here somewhere, sending it back towards the blue. Then we can just cut that off whenever we need to. You'll see we're actually providing blue science right now, but that's actually not enough for what we're actually researching. You can see, which probably means we're short of something. We're short of engines. So it's a good idea for us to fix that before we actually move on. Yep, you see engines are being provided pretty slowly by comparison to everything else, because we've just got lots of red circuit factories, and we see here the engines do take a little bit of time to produce. So we've left room. And that shouldn't be much of an issue. So yeah, that's slow. That's so slow. So why don't we just speed that up now while we can? And easy to do so. Again, leave the room. So let's just put in, I'm going to make another one of those. I think I'm actually going to add to our mall as well by putting in something that makes the assembly machine 2s, unless I already have. I may have done it, but we'll have a look. Whoops. And then I'm also going to need some medium electric poles, which means I need more steel. We're about to get construction robots fairly soon, but we don't have them just yet, so I can't get them to go and feed me stuff until that's done. And let's make more of those. And we just have to bring all this along. So I'll bring this up. And then we can just feed in as normal. Get the long-handed inserters and power everything up. Oh, did I move them? Oh, I haven't lined that one right either. I need to go there. There we go. And let's feed in long-handed. And that will do. And then we can just put in the outputs. There we go. All right, so that should have speed up the amount of engine units we have by 4 times. And I'm going to watch that because we may even need more. But it shouldn't be too much of a bother to actually make more because we've got these 2 here that are feeding on pipe and gears fairly quickly. In fact, what we may want to do or think about is just putting a couple more long-handed inserters for the outputs of these. And then the same thing on these. Are they fast enough to actually do that? I suspect this is actually slowed down by the input, so let's just feed the input. Look at the colours, in fact. I'm forgetting the bottlenecks here. So we're looking at this. Every time it runs out of ingredients, it hits red. Okay, when it's full, it hits yellow, but that doesn't happen very often. It's mostly it can't input ingredients. So simplest thing there is just to grab more ingredients. Now we can't really do that with long-handed, but we can up the stack size that they actually use. And this one now has more than enough input. It's on green permanently. This one still hits red a little bit, even with these 2. So you could just do something sort of, I wouldn't say bad, but something a little bit different. Making sure that this thing has more than enough input. And there it goes. So we don't even need those anymore. I suspect this blue will be more than fast enough to keep this occupied. It is. And then they're all basically green at that point. So this should supply enough for all of these quite easily. And again, we can continue scaling up just by moving these over the other side of that belt. And then we can just put onto another belt and then insert on the left-hand side coming down here. Just so it's all on that top side of the belt and everything will be fine. We'll see how that actually goes and modify that as time goes on. I couldn't work out the exact ratio here, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet because we need to get on with other things, and let's do that. So we will need to work out ratios for the sulfur and stuff like that again, but again I'm going to just drop down the next set of assembly machines so we've got something to work on. Let me just go and actually get some more ingredients. 1 second. And my mold didn't have any thing automatically creating some assembly machines, so why don't we do that as well, because that is very much worthwhile. You're not going to need these on a belt or anything, you can just box them. So first thing, we need assembly machine 1s, so I'm just going to make a couple of those. It needs iron gear wheels, and electronic circuits, and we have all these here all ready for the inserters, so that's obviously quite easy to make. So we'll just basically be able to extend what we already have. Is that nicely placed? Yeah, I want these to be nicely placed. Looks fine. And then we'll choose assembly machine here. We will insert and insert again. There we go. And that should have everything. Once this actually starts dragging in the iron, it may take it a minute. Let's just put another one of these on. And Actually, no, I'm just going to change it up to a fast inserter. There it goes. So that's going to start making the first version, and the second version we're going to need, we can just directly insert here, in fact. So it'll be closer than the rest, but this will be fine. And we can just direct insert, let's put it there, put a power pole between them, choose the second version, and then we will choose to put it in a box, probably on the bottom of this. There we go. Should that be in range? Yes, it is. So this needs an additional electronic circuit and more iron gear wheels. It doesn't need the iron plate, but we'll have iron plate anyway, and it needs steel plate. So what we're going to do is bring in a line of steel. Oh look, there's a line of steel. Almost like I had thought about this beforehand. And we will just bring all these in. So from here, I'm just going to, in fact, no, that needs to be there. We're going to be able to put those in. And then these I want to bring in a way that will work. Let's just say for here, we do this. Okay, and that will also feed here. Remember, it isn't important that we get the right ratios or anything at all with this machine. This is just going to make us pretty much. Let's get another fast inserter. There we go. It's going to make us tier 2 assembly machines automatically, and you don't want this to, consume huge amounts of stuff. So grabbing up to 4 stacks will do just fine, and I have enough for my inventory. I'm going to use maybe about 8, and then I'll just leave it to assemble all 4 stacks. Yeah, and then we'll take those 8 over to the other side because we're going to use them, if we can, unless I need to go up to the next tier, to make the blue circuits. The blue circuits are now in here, or should be, I hope. Yeah, there they are. And we can make them in a blue one, as it says there on the screen, which is good. All right, so processing units. We need to put in, we're going to put them down here, aren't we? We're going to need to insert, essentially, liquid as well as the dry ingredients. So for that, why don't we just think about putting them around here-ish. In fact, I'm going to go a bit further down because we may want another row of those red or below here. It makes a nice sort of convenient way to actually get them. So let's just move it further down. Let's say we have them here in the same way as we have above, sort of. You'll see why in a second. Okay, that's 8. Then we are going to choose blue circuits, but now you'll see it has a liquid input. Liquid inputs, in this case, are going to do what I did before. When I mentioned we can do that on the thing above. What was it over there? The yeah, the sulfuric acid, not the sulfuric acid, the batteries. Yeah, we can insert them in the middle of the sections like this. And that will do. We can then just feed them all together. So I'm one off with this, but I'm not too concerned, because I can just put them down here. Okay, and that's the beginning of the run. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll just connect them all between each other. They won't pass through because these middle ones aren't connected. But we can then just decide to send them like this on either side. And it's probably better on the output side, actually. But in fact, yeah, let's put them on the output side. Because this is going to be the output side. Because the input side is going to be up there. Because we're going to be bringing in red circuits, basically. Okay, so output side. And then we'll connect them all with our underground pipe. There it goes. Then the output can be just normal. Nothing excessive there. Same thing with the input, although we may want to rework that depending on where our input is actually coming from. We need red circuits, green circuits, and sulfuric acid are already in there. So red and green, you need a lot more green than you do red. So I would suggest you have a whole belt, at least for the green. And red will probably be coming in from the other direction. And then we will just power this up. Let's just connect it up to our main bus somehow. We are, however, going to need to just move this out of the way. So we're going to need to just grab all of those. And bring this back this way. There we go. So getting at green circuits, we need to improve this so that they're on both sides of the belt, but that's straightforward to do. And here we're just going to make sure we have these all connected. And they fit rather well. Once I've removed that. And everything is fine. In fact, I like that layout quite a lot. Oh, apart from that. I dislike that part of it. Okay, so now they all have power. They're going to insert green circuits. They won't have any red just yet, so you could, if you wanted to. I'm not sure if I want to do this. Do I have enough red? I have more than enough red. Why not just for now simulate this by just saying I want to put in underground and a couple of splitters. And, you know, you can get this sort of idea. There we go. And that's just going to split some red circuits off. And then we'll just insert them with some long-handed inserters. There we go, I think. Why is that rotate? Are they all rotated the wrong way? They are. That's annoying. Just press R when you're hovering over them to rotate them back again. And there we go. Okay, so these are now technically producing blue circuits. So they're going to be terrible at producing them, but they are technically producing them. There they are. We got some blue circuits. And they enable us to get, you know, further different, more advanced machines together. And for now, again, I'm not going to worry too much about this. I'll just put a box down and I will just box them up here. I don't care too much about that other than that. So we're now done with blue circuits. And although that's a little bit shorter than 30 minutes, the normal, it's about 25. The Minecraft episode yesterday was about 40 odd, I think, or something, or the day before that. So I thought I'd leave it there because I'm going to go and record another Minecraft episode and then get on to maybe some Satisfactory when it comes out. So I hope you'll enjoy watching me play Satisfactory. We'll see how good it actually is when it comes out. And in the meantime, we'll have some more episodes of Factorio and plenty of Minecraft for you to have a look at. So we've got this going. The next thing we're going to be doing, by the way, just so you get an idea, is the production science pack, the purple science. It needs a few things we definitely don't have anything of right now, which is the electric furnace, productivity module, and rail. So if you have a look at those just as a quick thing, rail is straightforward. It's stone, steel, and iron sticks, that is, and we have, you know, we have our stone quarry up here that we can use the excess of to actually get that. That's not a problem. The furnace, electric furnace, will be useful anyway because we can then upgrade our original furnaces up at the very top of the screen to the electric versions. And that needs steel, that needs red circuits, and then needs stone bricks, which we've got all of those as well. That's good news. And then the modules. So I think it's productivity module, did I say? Yeah, productivity. And that is just red and green. So we have red and green already coming around here. So we can maybe do something with this, but you can see just how depleted that green circuit line is right now, because it's only got one cluster at the very top of the screen of green circuit manufacturing. I need to extend that quite a lot, and then I also need to take a look at the power situation, which is okay, but needs to be maybe bulked up a bit before I start stacking groups of these right next to each other. You can see we've got the iron and the copper for it because they're stacked all the way back into our furnaces. They're not depleted just yet. So I now have I don't have the robots yet, but I do have the ability to just grab some machines from here. Let's grab 70 of them, or 80 of them. And I can just put these down manually for the time being. And I'm just almost out of inserters, but we are also making those automatically, so that's as simple as running along here. Okay, I've got 120. Cool. So I've got everything going. We'll see you next episode for some more Factorio. We're going to be doing production science pack then, and we'll probably get towards robots. And robots, construction bots that is, are very, very useful, as are logistic bots. And we'll get into that kind of thing. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to give it a thumbs up if you have. Feel free to subscribe and share if you haven't already, or click the bell for notifications. I want for future episodes. And yeah, we'll see you next time. As always, guys, thanks for watching.